Hi, welcome to, oh, well, I have a cat. She'll be here, since I'm sitting on the floor, flopping all over me and getting hair everywhere. But, you know, that's the part of having a cat. But welcome to a new, reading vlog, a new video. This one is going to be focused on one book, and I every time I film a reading vlog, I feel like I always say, you know, like, this book has been on my TBR forever, and I don't know why I haven't read it, and, you know, but this is the day we're gonna, you know, pick it up and give it a chance. This book hasn't been on my TBR for, like, longer than a year, but it's still long enough where I'm like, it's not appropriate anymore for me to have this book. Like, I need to have read this by now. Because it was published last year, so it's been like only a year since I've had it. But, you know, when you go, well, I'm sure other people do this too, but I go into a bookstore, pick up a book, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this sounds amazing. I need to read this right away. And that's my intention. But then I put it down and I never, well, it takes me like months to pick it up. So that's the situation with this book. But I really want to read this one today. I'm in a fantasy mood. So I wanted a nice fantasy book. I have already started it, but I've only read like 5% of it. So, but the book is Five Broken Blades by Mike Corland, and I do have the sprayed edges edition. It also comes with like cool art on the inside. I don't have very many sprayed or special edition books, but this is just the one that they had at the bookstore. So Five Broken Blades. So I got this when I saw it at the bookstore. I thought the concept was really cool. And so when I was going to start it a couple days ago, I looked it up on Goodreads and found out that it was, well, the main genre is fantasy, but then like one of the subgenres is romantasy. And so I was like, didn't know that. I hate romantasy. So I'm hoping that it's not that, just because it's not appealing to me whatsoever. But I'm 60 pages in, and so far there's no hint of romantasy or anything. It's just good fantasy fun. Say hi. Say hi. But I'm enjoying it so far, and the reason I'm enjoying it so far, well, you know what, I haven't even told you what the book's about. And I'm going to give you a warning, I cannot pronounce any of these characters' names, which is typical for fantasy, but I just can't. So apologies in advance. Sorry, author. But so there are 5 people, and they are brought together to kill the king of this kingdom. So he's believed to be immortal, but it's actually just the power of the crown that he's wearing. And so, these 5 different people come from different backgrounds, but they all want the king to die, or they've been paid to kill the king for different reasons. So they have to come together. The reason I'm enjoying it so far, and I'm only on page 60, is because I'm getting One Piece vibes, which I love, but also it's like, what? Like, there's one character who gives me Zoro vibes, one gives me Sanji, one gives me Nami, and I'm just like, that was unexpected. And it's just like, you have these characters who come from different backgrounds that are coming together, and some of them they're not getting along, they're fighting, they're lying, they're picking fights, they're arguing. Some of them get along, but it's just like, you know, they're just here to do the job. But I'm sure as the story goes on, they'll get more attached to each other, which is just like One Piece. So I don't know. I don't think I've met all 5 characters yet. I think I've met 3 or 4. But there's what, the hitman, the prince, the thief. I want to say I've met one more, but I can't remember. It's been a couple of days. But I'm going to read this book in this vlog. Other things happening in this vlog, I gotta organize some things. I need to put away some of my like K-pop stuff. I went to a K-pop concert recently, so I gotta organize some of that stuff. I'd like to do maybe, heavy on the maybe, so don't expect to see any of this. Like, surprise, I don't know what's gonna be in this video. Some puzzling, maybe video games, coloring, I don't know, maybe something else fun. I don't know. I have to work tomorrow on a Saturday, which is not fun. But, I don't know, just do some chores, kind of. Maybe do some cozy things, but yeah. This video, tackling 5 Broken Blades. I don't know how many pages it is. 475. 475. So pretty hefty book, but we will get it done, and I will catch you up in a little bit. Hey, welcome back. It's the next day. You can tell by t-shirt change. I haven't done much reading. I think yesterday I only read like 22 pages. And nothing major has happened that I need to like update you on. But I had to work today, work's over. And so afterwards I went to like an outdoor market, got some pizza, and then I went to, it's sort of new, a new like independent small local bookstore to see what they had. Only my second time going, but they have a really good deal with like store credit. So, and I had a large amount of store credit, so I got a few books. First one I got was 1,000 Splendid Suns by the author of The Kite Runner. I read The Kite Runner, I want to say in either 2022 or 2023, and really enjoyed it. So I wanted to pick up this other book by that author, but I just never did. But she only charged me $3 for this, so I was like, I'm gonna get this. $3, pretty much a steal. And then I got I got My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. I know Grady Hendrix is like one of the top horror authors currently. I've heard mixed reviews about this one, but it's like, as you can tell probably by the cover, it's like based on like an 80s cheesy horror movie concept. So yeah, like slasher film, I guess. It sounds like an interesting concept, but we'll see. We'll check it out. Then, staying in the horror genre, there's cat hair on this book already. The next one I got is Rouge by Mona Awad, the author of Bunny, which I have not read yet. It is sitting over there. I can see it. I haven't read any of her books, but I saw this one. I was like, well, I might as well get it. She writes, like, from what I understand, like supporting women's wrongs as well as women's rights, which is what I stand for. But I want to read Bunny first. One, because it's shorter and it's more my speed, but definitely going to check out her, and I'm excited to read her work. And then the last purchase I made is, let's see, let me get these in order. There's 3. Yeah, well, are these appropriate to show on YouTube? Sure it is. Well, if I get flagged, you know why. The first 3 volumes of Berserk. So I was surprised she had this and surprised that someone turned it in. But, so Berserk, I've known about Berserk for a long time. If you don't know, it's like in one of the top 3 anime manga series, specifically manga, I think, of all time. I've never read it. I know some about it. It's apparently is the like darkest, goriest, scariest manga series of all time. And it's been going, when was this published? It's been going on for a long time. 1989, wow. That's crazy. But anyway, so I've never picked it up. I've been curious about it. Like, I've looked at it multiple times in the bookstores and debating on it. But the deluxe edition for these books, which is like a combo of like multiple volumes, is like $50 because it's hardback and I think in color too. So I was like, ugh. But since I got these for really cheap, I figured, you know, might as well, because if I don't like them, I can just sell them back. But I got the first 3. I'll read these 3 and let you know what I think. Because I don't know anything about it. But people I trust online, like, rave about it, so I thought I would give it a try. But beyond that, I don't have much going on. I don't know what my plans are for the rest of this weekend. I really want to work on a puzzle. The thing is, I have one in progress. It's not going well at all. It's a 1,000-piece puzzle, which that's not the problem specifically. It's a brand I've never used before, like the Magic. I'll show it off, but it's like the Magic Puzzle Company. And it's just difficult. Like, I can't find pieces that fit together. So I'm thinking I'm gonna swap it out and put that one on pause for a bit. I don't have hardly any pieces fit together, so I'm just gonna scrap it and start from a new one. Because I've been working on it for too long and haven't made any sort of progress, so probably switch it to a different one. I have a couple laying around that I want to start on, but we'll do that in a little bit. I don't know what else. Brush my cat. She's always here accompanying me. Beyond that, clean a little bit, rest up, take a nap. Work was fine today. It wasn't hard. It is so hot outside. It's like 94 degrees today, I think, which is crazy. That outdoor market. And I was wearing a black shirt, so that didn't help any. But yeah, I'm gonna let you go. This update is taking too long. But the next time I see you, it'll either be puzzling or it will be a larger reading update. So I will catch you later. Nelly! Nelly! Hey, so, okay, I wanted to show the puzzle that I was in the middle of. As you can see, I didn't have a whole lot done. It's really difficult. I don't even know why exactly, but it's by the Magic Puzzle Company, 1,000 pieces. It's the Sunny City one. Maybe it's just because everything is so, like, yellow scale. But yeah, and like some of the pieces are like really interesting. Like let me try and find one. I don't know, like, there's some that are just like this. Oh, focus. Some that are just like a weird shape and stuff, so it's just, everything's a bit difficult. But yeah, so I'm gonna be putting this one away, and then I'll show you which one I pick to start. Okay, so for you, no time has passed. For me, it's been like a week since I've recorded anything. For like 2 days, I didn't read anything, didn't really do much. And then I was gone to the beach for 4 days and, you know, was traveling back and forth. Was in the car for like 10 hours total, so, but had a good time, went with my best friend. Really fun, too hot, extremely hot, but we had a really nice time. I didn't bring 5 Broken Blades with me. I brought another book that I had wanted to read, but I have made some significant progress with this. I'm now 68% through. I'm on page 340. So I have like this much left. I read this much, so we're getting there. I think I have like 150 pages left. I'm really enjoying it, more than I kind of thought. It hasn't really gotten to a romantasy aspect. I can definitely feel like hints of it, but it hasn't like taken that full leap yet. You know, we have 5 main characters. I like 4 out of 5. One of the POVs, which I've seen people talk about this online, like, she is so annoying. It's Aerie. She is a bit like lightheaded, kind of skipping through the flowers, you know, like not really thinking about how her actions could impact other people. So kind of a bit annoying, not my favorite. Kind of quickly read through her parts, but this author, I'm 100% convinced she is a fan of One Piece. Like, there's no way she's not. The character Royo, 110% is Zoro from One Piece. He's horrible at directions. He's very stoic. He says he hates people. He's like a bodyguard for hire. He doesn't like being around others. He's not used to it. He's not used to affection. He's not used to having friends. But then he meets this group of people and he's completely devoted to them. So it's like he does a 180 in his character. He's a completely capable fighter. And so it's Zoro. Like, you can't tell me otherwise. She has to be a One Piece fan. There's no other way. It's so Zoro coded. Aerie gives me a little bit of Luffy vibes in her lightheadedness, but that's about it. Right now, all the 5 characters have met. There's some tension between some of them, but some of the others are really getting along. There's some inner conspiracies and workings within the group. So we've had some reveals, we've had some drama, some fighting, but I am really enjoying it. It is like, it felt excuse me, in the beginning it felt like, okay, we're slowly, I don't know if slowly is the right word, but we're building up to this big event, right, to try and kill the king. And I don't think we're gonna get there until like the last like 50 pages. I don't think we're gonna find out what's gonna happen until the last 50. Because I have like, what, 150 pages left, and they haven't even made it to the city where the king's at. So I don't know. It better happen at the end, like they actually get to the king. Otherwise it's gonna be like a bit, I don't want it to be too cliffhangery. I know the sequel is out, which might be good for me in case it is a cliffhanger, but I just don't want it to be so, they've drawn this out a little bit, so, but I'm enjoying it. I like the back and forth between some of the characters. I like just kind of the medieval vibe that it has, all the traveling, and there's like a hint of like magic and obviously with poison and stuff like that, but like some creatures that are kind of hinted at or shown briefly. It's just a bit better than I was expecting. But I have 150 pages left. I don't know how long it's gonna, I could read it all in one sitting. It could take me 5 days to finish. But I'm going to work on it, probably work on some other stuff, but I will see you the next time I see you. Okay, hi. So I just rearranged my main bookshelf a little bit. I didn't do a whole lot, but just kind of reorganized it some, and I thought I'd show it off. So this is the top shelf. There's my Miss Peregrine books, Gone series, Fablehaven series. You can see I'll have some gaps because this series I have not finished yet. There's 2 more books, so I left some space for 2 more. And there's just like some space on some of these shelves I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do with. But so like this first shelf is like series I read as a kid, and then a little bit down here too. So the second shelf, the first half of the shelf is also series I read as a kid that I don't want to get rid of. I'm gonna be rereading the Charlie Bone books soon. But then we have Series of Unfortunate Events. And then we have my Vampire Chronicles, which I didn't read as a kid, but and then a little, like 3 Agatha Christie books, they just fit nicely there. But that's the first 2 shelves. And then third shelf, which has a whole bunch of empty space, is just my classics. So we have like Middle English classics, we have the Iliad, we have Little Women, Crime and Punishment, The Bell Jar, horror. So a lot of space there. And then I haven't touched the bottom 2 shelves. This one is like some of my recent year favorites of all time. And then the bottom one is mainly TBR. And yeah, the stuff under there too. But yeah, I just reorganized like the first 3 shelves. Not really much to see, but I just thought I'd show you the progress. Not much has changed in my manga shelf, but so we have Black Butler. So then I have like on this top shelf all the series that are like I'm reading that are like ongoing. So like series that I've started but haven't collected enough of. So like Bungo, Noragami, Soul Leveling, Dandan. And then second shelf is just Attack on Titan right now. I'm probably going to I'm gonna either move Jujutsu Kaisen or something else, one of the like darker ones. I'm gonna put that like behind it, but I'm not sure which yet. Then we have like One Piece and my Danmei. And then bottom is Mob Psycho 100, Jujutsu Kaisen, and I've been finding these like Studio Ghibli manga adaptations. But yeah, not much has changed here. I just gotta figure out, once I get some more volumes, where everything is going to go, because I really don't know quite yet. But yeah, those are my shelves. Not much has changed, just a little bit of reorganizing to make things more functional so I can fit more books. Hi, welcome back. I have officially finished 5 Broken Blades. It's been like 2 days since I updated, so finished it in a pretty timely manner. Did finish it all in one sitting, just took like a day off from reading. So I have finished 5 Broken Blades, and the ending was good. It wasn't what I was worried about with it being like a huge cliffhanger. There was a cliffhanger, but not what I was worried about. It was very not what I predicted. There were a couple of plot twists which I enjoyed, but overall, I don't know what I'm gonna rate it. It's either gonna be a 4 or 4.5 stars, but I did thoroughly enjoy it. I know it's, which I didn't know this when I bought it, like I said, but it's, the subcategory is romantasy. There was a tiny hint of it, but it wasn't so much where I didn't want to read it. So still, that's why I'm rating it so high. It was still enjoyable because there wasn't the whole overwhelming romantasy aspect, which you would get normally in other books. So the ending, like the last chapter, laid the foundations for the sequel, which is already out. Came out a few months ago, I think. It really made the characters like question, because throughout the book they had learned to be loyal to each other, but then towards the end it was like, can we actually trust each other? I mean, we're killers, we're thieves. Can we actually put our faith in one another and risk our lives for one another? And so at the end, they're kind of like, maybe I was wrong to do this the whole time, and these people that I put my faith in are actually the horrible people that they say they are. So it got tense, but the plot twist I really enjoyed. And I still say this author is a huge fan of One Piece. Like, I might need to do some research and see if there's like interviews with her or whatever, but I don't know. I did enjoy it. You know, going in I was worried about it, but I enjoyed my time. I can hear myself rambling. I'm just like, am I even saying coherent sentences? But it's towards the end of the day. It's almost my bedtime, so, which is like 7:30. But I'm not going to pick the second one up right away. I need to whittle down my physical TBR anymore because I don't currently own the second book. So before I buy it, I have to get rid of or go through some of the ones that I currently own. But yeah, Five Broken Blades, either going to be a 4 or 4.5 star. I need to sit with it a bit more, take a couple days, digest it, and see what I think. I'm not sure what it's currently rated on Goodreads. I want to say it's like a 3.9 or 4.1, somewhere in that range. But yeah, there's not much else to say besides I enjoyed it. Look at me finishing a whole book in a reading vlog. Now I do know, in terms of like next video that I'm gonna post, Summerween starts tomorrow as I'm recording this on July 5th. Today's the 4th. So Summerween runs from July 5th through the 12th. I don't think, because I'm already reading like too many books currently, so I might heavy on the might do my own Summerween like at the end of July, early August, but it's probably not going to be next week. Got too much going on, too much reading. I gotta work next Saturday, so. But yeah, I don't know, find something to do. I didn't do or show you as many hobby stuff as I wanted to, but I haven't been doing much else besides reading and TV watching, so not much going on. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out. Don't know what I'm gonna read next after this, because like I said, I have 2 or 3 that I'm in the middle of, 3. So I am listening to an audiobook, which is kind of a new experience, but I'm 50% through, so I'm gonna see it through to the end, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, rambling. So that is the end of the vlog. 5 Broken Blades. Highly recommend that you check it out if you're into fantasy and One Piece. apparently, which I was not expecting going in. But that is 5 broken blades. Enjoyed my time with it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!